So, and I scream, I'll be just fine, 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 fine. I'll be just fine. Oh, right on time. Okay. Good. And where's that screen gone? La, 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 la. Hello, if anyone's there. At the moment, I'm just talking to myself. Hello, my angels and devils, and all who may want to hear. It is Amanda Christina live streaming. Woo! Yeah, just for anyone watching this back, I just realized I didn't do my intro. It's actually on time. I didn't think I would be, to be honest. It's just been one of those mornings. I could have happily stayed in bed for another couple of hours, very happily. A little sniffly. There must be fires or something here because everywhere, like if I open the front door, all you see is smoke. It's pretty bad, which explains why my asthma is ridiculous at the moment. Oh my God. Okay. And I'm here by my lonesome. La 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 la. So my box from my moments with mum beside me, and I keep going to put my hand through it, and I don't want to do that because I actually want to use it for packaging of a parcel for a friend. Well, it feels very weird to be here literally on my own. There's 0 people and I'm just staring at a camera. Hi, how are you? I was going to sneaky share some projects and things, but as no one is here, it seems kind of pointless. I think I'll give this 10 minutes, and if no one comes, I'll just go film my videos for the next couple of days of VEDA. I have a bone scan tomorrow. I'm really kind of nervous about it because it means a period where I'm in town for more time than I usually am. Yeah, from like 8:30 in the morning to 12:30, which is a long period because there's a long period between when you have the injection and when you have the scan. I'm also a bit nervous about that because I've never had a bone scan or anything like that before. It's to show up where my arthritis is and stuff, but you always get a bit worried because when I was reading online, they mostly scan bones for cancer, like do bone scans for cancer. I'm like, what if they find something? But I know that probably won't happen. I'm just, kind of really nervous about it. I was a bit nervous about live streaming too, especially when I've been here for nearly 5 minutes and there's 0 people in my live stream. And I shared the link everywhere. Epic fail, Amanda. Epic fail. I probably could have stayed in bed. But, I've got things. I was even going to share what I was working on. I have this really cool mini album. I have an awesome entry to my to my challenge from Joanne Lee, which is just, oh my God, I have a project, a couple of project shares, a preview of a tutorial, and no one's here to watch. So I am going to call this in about 6 minutes of me just rambling to myself. In keys. Meow. I don't know. I am just today is a very weird day. Like, I'd love to open up my house to get fresh air, but the fresh air is full of smoke. Which is, yeah, I'll have to Google and see what's happening there. Tomorrow, next Tuesday, I've got my psychologist appointment, and I also will be checking out a new op shop, which I'm kind of excited about. Hello, whoever is there. I've just spent the last 5 minutes talking to myself, so please say hi. Because I feel a little bit alone here right now. Yeah, so I get to check out a new op shop, which will be cool. Just had to juggle a few things to make sure I had the money for that. Hi, Jane! I have been sitting here for 5 minutes talking to myself. It's kind of weird. That's okay. You're allowed to just pass by. How are you? I was saying to myself, because there was no one here, that if it hits 10 minutes and no one comes, I'll just end the live stream and go film the videos I was going to film. Well, now that they've made it a lot easier, I don't mind. And at some point, I would like to become a Twitch streamer, because you can actually, versus YouTube, Twitch streaming live, you get people will subscribe after you've become an affiliate. People can subscribe to you, they can cheer, they can donate, you can set donation goals and stuff. So it's kind of a way where you can actually earn a living, possibly. Whereas YouTube is very, very hard these days to earn a living from, even if you have the required hours. I think I'm still 925 hours away from getting reviewed, and that if they review me, yeah. Yeah, it's all different. Like, it's just, yeah, different things. It's just, the Twitch community is really cool. Like here, the Twitch community is amazing, and there isn't a lot of crafting. Like, there's knitting and crocheting and stuff, but there's not a lot of paper crafting, and there's not a lot of scrapbooking and stuff. Like, there are channels that do it, but I've never ever seen them go, like, their videos are all older, and I think because the community is still a very new one. And with it, you can also, once you've done, like, I think it's like a 48-hour period or something, where once you've done the live video, yay, Wendy, hello, you can then upload it. There's ways to upload it to YouTube as well, so you get the benefit of both. Hello, Wendy. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I don't know if you know Jane or not. How are you, Wendy? I haven't watched your latest videos yet. They're a little bit long for what I had, yeah. For what I had time for. I think yours are going up when I'm getting really sleepy lately. So I have to catch up on your videos. I always love watching your processes. You're really cool. Like, you and Belinda with the art journaling. Wow. I just always get so blown away by, like, I look at something and I look at it. Hello, Denny's. Nice to see you. Oh, good. A few people are coming now. I don't have to end the live stream in 2 minutes. Thank you. I got it from Kmart in a 2-pack for like $2, and the other ones were the other kitty ears was super cute, but they fell apart. They were like, they had like a crinkly black glittery stuff, and the sides popped. So I was a bit heartbroken at that because I really liked them. But these ones I've had these for 4 years and they're still going strong. So everyone meet everyone. I think we're all creative people here at the moment. Crafters, because in my live streams you'll meet Disney people and music Twitch people and all sorts of musicians and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So But yeah, that I was like, I want to try and learn how to make these, and then I was like, that's too complicated for me to get it all to sit properly and stuff. I can do like the basic shape. Hi, Kidams. I don't think I recognize your username, so welcome. Hi. I don't. You'll have to tell me who you are. Sorry. Yay, yeah. Feel free to sub to each other because you're all awesome. Like, I am so blown away at how much talent and creativity is around me these days. I think it helps inspire me to do better. Have you all? Joanne Lee has done a. Hi, Jane. Happy Wednesday here. It's 11:10 a.m. for me. I don't know if you all know Joanne Lee, but this is her entry to my challenge. She did this gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It's if you're in Australia, it's the Reject Shop had this mermaid unicorn. It just gorgeous, gorgeous paper range with ephemera and stickers. Oh, thank you, Denny's. Bye. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you enjoy my channel. Okay, so look at how just absolutely she's done all these little cards. I don't know where she got her cardstock. It is so thick. But she's done all these like little pockety things, and it is just so gorgeous. I struggle to believe that that she's only been paper crafting like less than a year. Is it less than a year? I'm going to do a proper video, but I figured I would do some little shares of things. I'll pull out all the tags after I go through the little book so you can see all the beautiful tags. But she's just done, this range is so stunning. Like, if you're in Australia, I know this range is starting to turn up in America as well. Like, she just, all the little details she puts into things just totally blow my mind. Like, if a year of paper crafting, I would not have been able to do this. Like, I was so crud at paper crafting for such a long time. It took me such a long time to get it. And even now there are times where I'm like, I'm not sure I like that. And this little one where she's put like the belly band and then this little unicorn tucks into it. Like, Courtney! Hi, Courtney. For any of you in here, this is my friend Courtney. She does a lot of Harry Potter, Disney, just awesome sort of fun content. She is not a crafter as such, but she does do some DIYs occasionally. Her yarmulke from, why can't I think the name? OC is very cool. I love you too. And then this is like, she did the flip out. I will do a proper share on this, but I had to show you how awesome this was because, yeah. And then there's more. And then she's done all these. I'll pull the little tags out. Except I might have put them back in too hard. Then she's done all these absolutely gorgeous little tags. I love this paper range, and the reason I had to laugh when I saw this is I'll show you in a minute a project I've been working on. And then that's the last little tag. So that is the first entry to my challenge, which closes. Hello. Oh my God, Melinda and Alexis are coming to visit you. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Hi, Joanne. I was just showing off the little book you made me. I love it. It is so, so, so gorgeous. Are they coming to stay for a few days? Are you hanging out? Are you crafting together? I may have a little bit of envy that you are hanging out with Melinda and Alexis, but I'm happy for you too. But this is okay. So I got this, and this is what I've spent the last week working on. Hang on, I might move that light so you can see things a bit better. Ironically, using the same paper range. These all pull out, but I won't. So I had to have a giggle when I saw what Joanne sent me. Oh, but that's so nice. Lunch and Arvo tea is always lovely. And you'll get to meet Miss Alexis. If she's anything like she's in the video, she's a very cheeky young lady. So this is my little, it helps if I show the camera. So I had to laugh when I got yours, Joanne, because this is what I have spent the last week working on. I, of course, will do a proper project share when this is all finished. But it made me giggle to get yours because I have been doing a little book. All the different, I think this is my fave. Although it's hard because I really love how this is turning out. It's the range. It's just so freaking gorgeous. And then there's just one of the unicorn bags that I turned into a little pocket. That's as far as I've got. And I haven't even started on the tags yet. It's taken me I've been slow this week. But yeah, so it's I had to not giggle because I think I'm going to try and do this as something for my Etsy store. I may see if I can sell it. I'm not sure. Or yeah. Oh wow. I including the one Melinda has for me, have 5 pads of it because Tabitha found a heap and we just went nuts because we love the range. It's just so gorgeous. I was actually going to send some to you, Wendy, because I didn't know if you had any of the unicorn. Wendy and Ginny, I was going to split a pad between both of them because I didn't know if they'd actually gotten any. But I was keeping the majority of it to craft with because I will use it. And I'm using some of the rainbows and unicorns pads, and there is a die cuts with a view pack called Once Upon a Time, and I don't have loads of it left, but it doesn't really fit with the theme. I really, really want to use the dragon. But it's oranges and reds and stuff, and this is all purples and blues and greens and pinks. So it's just totally. Are you sure, Wendy? Because I actually got an extra one to share deliberately because I wasn't sure if other friends would have it. I have plenty, honestly. I'm not going to run out in a hurry. I mean, this has chewed through almost half a pad already, but I was expecting that. Okay, no problem. I still have that big lot of 12 by 12 to divvy up between everyone. I just have to get the post bags that they fit in. I'm trying to use what I have, which is why I'm not hoarding the new stuff I have as well. Part of my stash of this and reject shop stuff came from my sister. It was an early birthday present. So that's why I did the Splendid stuff. I want it, as much as I love that range, I don't want to be hoarding everything. So I've been doing a mix of using up what I have and using new things to go with, trying to mix it up a bit. But I'm also, the only thing I can probably foresee needing to buy is cardstock because mini albums really chew through the cardstock. And I discovered, like everyone talks about using the super thick cardstock, I find that cracks really easily. The slightly deeper, slightly thinner cardstock seems to work better for hinging and stuff without breaking. That's just my opinion. Like a lot of people like the thicker, heavier stuff, but I have found that I've had, and things like the American Crafts 12 by 12 and that actually will crack. So that's not good for things where you're doing flip books and stuff, like flippy bits. Just some things I've learnt doing mini albums. This is I'm a bit late on sending this, but I hope I'm going to get this in the post tomorrow. I'm late sending so much stuff that is probably not going to go till next week now, just the way my life works. I'm just really busy at the moment. I have about 4 or 5 hours in town tomorrow. No problem. Bye, Joanne. Give Wendy and Melinda big hugs from all of us. Really appreciate that you stopped by, even though they're coming. I'm so excited. It's so cool. So I made this for Fiona James. I get very, when people say make anything, does that just make your head kaboom? Because like if I've got guidelines, I'm like, oh, I can make this or I can make that. Whereas when it's just make anything, my mind just goes la 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 la. And I could have sent her something I had made for a different, like just made for the sake of it. Like I have the flip books and the pocket letters from the Splendid range. I have some other stuff I've already made, some stuff for prizes for my challenge, and that. So I could have used something else. But yesterday morning I have these tags. Now this is a use it up thing because I've had these, it's a tag book, like a tag mini album, and it's Maya Road. And I've had this sitting in my stash for a few years. And actually the story of this album is that I was making it to fit those tags in, only they were too thick because they're really thick chipboard. So I ended up copying the top of the tags, doing them a little bit shorter, and doing them out of some thick cardstock instead. So I was looking at this and I went, oh, I could do so I've sort of done this, and I've you have some of those, Wendy. They're just the paper flowers. These were just a couple of things. She Crafts, I think it is, did a tutorial on how to use your alphabet punch board to make toppers. So that was me playing with that. I just added some tea and hot chocolate. And then that's just a couple of card bits with trim. And then there's just some ephemera pieces. But like, I feel like it's, you know me, I always feel like everything's understuffed. Like there's not enough in it. But it's seriously hard to fill this with too much. And then this fabric, I couldn't resist. It was at Spotlight. I didn't want to buy a whole meter, but online you have to. It was on special for $5, and it's got gold unicorns on it, and it's so cute. And then the back, I just did some tags. Some of this bling trim, which I have in my stash. I didn't get to send these out for Easter, so I have a little stash of, they're just Tim Holtz Easter images from his paper pad and my first attempt at making paperclips. And then more tea, some cookies, because like who doesn't like my cookies? And then just some little bits from the Rainbows and Unicorn pad, and then some of my little envelopes because I haven't sent any of those to Jane yet. But I always feel like I'm understuffing. Like I know that's got lots in it, but it still feels like too little to me. That's what Joanne said. I sent her a couple of pics yesterday because I don't know Fiona Jane that well. So I don't know if anyone else does, but I get a little bit antsy when I'm sending something when I don't fully know. I'm getting to know her a bit through her videos and stuff, and she was in here chatting and stuff. So I'm getting to know her, but I always get a little worried. And then last night I was playing with, I've had these little Multix patty pans in my stash since a good year or so. They were about $3 at Woolworths, and I started with the Rainbows and Unicorns ones I got from Spotlight, and I don't have any of those here because I don't know what I've done with them. But I have been making the cutest. I haven't put the little centers on all of these yet. And yes, there's a tutorial coming. I'll be doing a tutorial on these because they are so freaking cute. These gorgeous little bows. Hang on, let's see. There. So I've just been playing with different things lately. I have to clean my area up. I'm supposed to be doing stuff for my Etsy store opening, which is the 23rd of May, and I've done nothing as yet. So I need to get cleaning and sorting and finishing the projects I'm working on so that I can really get focused on Working on stuff for that. Yeah, they're so easy, Wendy. Like when you see it, you'll just be like, I can do that. And you can do it with the bigger size, except I cut them into thirds just because they're a bit too big to do. Well, it depends on how full you want your bow, I guess, but I found them a bit hard to work with beyond a point. So you get 3 out of a regular size one and 2 out of the mini ones. Which, when you think about it, like I got 100 of those for about $3. So if you add in your glue and your little tiny bit of cardstock, maybe 2 cents a bow. Pretty economical craft supplies. Plus, I just thought they'd be really cute to add into my stash of I try and get a stash of embellishments up, and then I use them. Like I've nearly used all my cookies. I've nearly sent out all my cookies, and I didn't want to. I don't know where they've all gone, because I could have sworn I made like 30 packs of cookies, and I'm down to like 6. But luckily, I still have loads more sequins, and when I get more of the cardboard, I can circles. I may still have some. I have a container where I've cut out all that size circle, so I may still have some of that particular chipboard that came in packaging. It comes in so many different things. Like I've found it in some freezer stuff, in the old El Paso taco kits. I can't think what else I found it in, but yeah, it sort of turns up in odd places. So I'm kind of hoarding that whenever I find it, because it's such a nice little mottled. They go so quickly when you're sending out friend mail and stuff. Like I haven't even had a chance to use my own cookies. I wanted to build up a supply because there's a tutorial I want to do, which I've got to see if I've got the right stuff for. It's a little handmade cupcake embellishment, and it's so easy. And I realized that it would work for ice cream as well. So I may do, so I'm like thinking of food embellishments. So I could do a little parcel of like handmade food embellishments, and then I just go and use them all because I need something to thin and easy, and they're so flat. But I'm gonna have to. I know Joanne has a new challenge, and I know Belinda Coombs has one, and I think I just have to stop saying yes to I'm going to enter challenges, because I just don't get it done. I'm just going to have to go to sending friend mail when I can, because I can't keep up, and then I get really stressed, and it makes me not want to create. And my creativity is such that I literally just suddenly I'm in the mood to do this, and I create it. Like this came together in less than 2 hours yesterday, because I looked at it and went, oh, I wonder if I could do a loaded tag with that. And suddenly I have a loaded tag. So I don't know whether that's the bipolar 2 or not, but I am very, yeah, like I'm building up a little supply of pocket letters and flip books and things that I can use for stuff like that. And I like doing that when I'm in the mood to do it. But I also like doing what I feel like. I'm a bit, I don't know whether it's all the years of living alone and stuff, and I get to do things on a whim, but also my creativity is very hard. Like if I don't feel like doing something and I have to force it, it's just not good. It makes me not want to create at all, which is not good for my depression and other things. Okay, so I know Wendy is still here. I wonder who else is here. Are you still here, Miss Courtney? It does, and there's always new challenges, and then people get so upset that you don't enter their challenges, and when you do, a lot of them don't sort of reciprocate, which isn't what entering challenges or sending friend mail is about to me. But I just find it really interesting. No, Wendy, you didn't. I think that I have distinct groups of people in my life. I have my Sorks, which are the Mary Amber fans, which Mary does really awesome geeky music. I have my Disney fam, and Courtney's someone I know through my Disney fam. Actually, I met her through another lovely friend of mine, Nina, who is a filmmaker. She's studying film, and her channel has beautiful arty gorgeous films and stuff. So I met Courtney through Nina, and so I have like I don't, it doesn't have to all be separate. It's just funny because the last live stream I did, different people from different places came in, so the conversation was very, yeah. But I think YouTube is more for me anyway. I have mostly crafty people and Disney people. my YouTube feed is literally Disney, crafting, and That is very true. And I know Mary has a stream in a few hours because I have to mod. I don't have to, but I'll be there to mod her stream and listen to her awesome nerdy music, because I've been hanging out on Twitch a lot too. That is true. I didn't think of that because I didn't think of the time, because last time I did it at this time, it was pretty good. And I was trying to do it at a time, because I have zero filmed for VEDA today. I have to do some filming, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. And if I can find the stuff, I have another tutorial to film, which is, oh my God, I was so excited when I discovered this, because when you're a plus size person, finding bracelets and stuff can be really hard. So I've been keeping the plastic rings from the tape I use, because some of the tapes I get have a plastic instead of cardstock. Cardstock you can do it with, but there's always that thing of if it gets wet or, you know, cardstock breaks down over time. But the plastic ones, so I've been covering them in ribbon and making bracelets with them. I can't wait to send some to one of my friends in the UK. So I'm going to do a tutorial on that. And that is one of my 100 things, because I didn't buy anything for it. I literally was recycling a inside of tape and ribbon that I've had, and using ribbon that I've had here for ages that I got off eBay cheap. If you ever need ribbon, let me know. And if your grandkids have, like your granddaughters have any particular favorite Disney or cartoon characters and stuff, let me know, because I have 2 tubs of ribbon. When I started getting into bow making, I went insane, and eBay was really good at the time. Like I was getting 5 or 10 yards for under 50 cents. So I went a wee bit nuts. It's really hard to do now, because even when I look now, I think I have some Barbie ribbon. I have some Barbie ribbon. I may be able to do you a couple of Barbie bows for her. I'm pretty sure, and I know I have some Barbie, like the not resin, but the sort of planar or whatever it's called. Like I think I have some Barbie heads in that. I might. I'd had that. That's gonna take me a minute to get through my stash. It's in here somewhere. One of my focuses is, if my Etsy store does well, I need to pay back my sister, pay off Melinda for some stuff I'm getting from her, and I need to get more storage, because I got all these like round plastic tubs, and I was really into those because I didn't know, but Kmart have these little, I think they're like 11-litre tubs, and they're $5, and they fit on my bookshelf with like room above them, so I can fit other containers on top of them. And I want them for all my ribbon, because it'll make it lots neater and look neater, but also because I can put stuff on top of it, but also for my themed stuff. So like I have a Christmas box. I kind of need 2 Christmas boxes, which is really bad. So I don't need more Christmas stuff. I have a Halloween box, thanks to... No, it doesn't cost you anything to have an Etsy store. It costs 20 cents to list an item. Then there is like a fee at the end, like depending on how much you've it's not the cheapest thing. Honestly, the best thing you can do is, if you have someone who's good with technology and stuff like that, is to have your own website. But then there's also the expense of having to have, you know, all my Etsy money, even being paid by PayPal, just goes straight into my Etsy account. If I'm having a store opening and I do all my listings, the first sale I get, I usually pay off my fees as I get them. That way, by the end, because of how I am, I'm not always sure I can get to the post office and stuff. So I've stopped doing like just having my store open 24/7. So I do 2 weeks where it's open, and I have limited edition bows and things like that. I've come to the thing where if people don't buy them then and there, tough luck, they're not going to be able to buy them again. And I usually only do 5 of each of what I'm making. So there are some things like I want to do. I've lost where I've put my dome pendants, because I want to do another series of the Enchanted Rose pendants. They were really, really popular last year. But these I want to do smaller, and with this, it's plastic ribbon from Woolworths, and I wish I had gotten more. I only bought, well, it was $3 a roll, like $3 for 3 different colors, and I couldn't justify it. And by the time I actually got some, I went back to get more, and it was sold out, which is always the way. But it's really like I have to hand cut it into the 1/4-inch strips, but to do quilled roses. and it's a different kind of sparkle to the ones I did out of quilling paper, and I used the Wink of Stella on them to give them that slight shimmery magical look, like the Enchanted Rose in Beauty and the Beast. But yeah, so it's not too bad. I mean, it's comparative to eBay and stuff. I do think they charge a little less than eBay. Etsy is designed as a handmade market though, so there is that side of things as well. I often wish I had a bit more money to buy things from Aussie sellers, and I've bought a couple of things and been really, it sounds horrible, but I've been really disappointed. Like when you buy a fabric bow and literally all they've done is cut the fabric, fold it down and fold it into the bow shape, like, and glue it, and then glue the clip on, and it's really uncomfortable. Like, I get complimented all the time on the fact that my bows are not uncomfortable, and that is because when I first started making bows, I was watching YouTube tutorials, and I found Mummy Crafts a lot, and she covers her bows with ribbon, and it still lets them be really, really grippy, but so much more comfortable. Not that you wear bows, Wendy, but for those of us that do, like, I have a couple of different sellers' bows, and they're so uncomfortable. They're beautiful bows, but they're so freaking uncomfortable that you can't wear them for very long. It's crazy to me. Like, if you're spending eight to $20 on a unique piece of art or someone's work. And the other thing that kind of, I'm not a hot glue crafter. I could make a lot more stuff a lot faster if I was a hot glue, like if I hot glued my bows and stuff, but I don't. I hand stitch. There's a few tricks I have that mean you don't always have to hand stitch, but like I always anchor my clips in at least two to three different ways, so that if, say, kids or something happens down the line, you've had it for years and suddenly the bit of ribbon around the center comes out, there's still string holding it together, so you can just put it back on. But also, so if you need to, you can cut the string, and if should it break, you can replace I think about that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if other people do, but I really do think about that, because I think, if you're buying something and you love it and you've had it for years and suddenly it breaks, and I also think about kids, the fact that kids can be very hard on things. And I still have all the stuff to do it. I really should make some more at some point. I have all these things I want to do. Is that just me, or is that every crafter, like, list of things? I used to make artist original bears, and my eldest niece, when she was about 6, broke my heart. Like, broke my heart. She sat there one night because she had to go to bed and she didn't want to, but it was way past her bedtime. And she totally, like, I anchor my bear eyes in, I glue them in. She sat there and she pulled out the eye of her bear that I had made her. And I was brokenhearted. But ever since that, and because I know she's like an ADHD, oppositional defiance disorder kind of kid, I'm always very aware that kids will sometimes deliberately break things. So I try and make sure that they're either break-proof or easy to be fixed if they do get broken. I don't know if that's just because I've had that experience. Oh, it still upsets me to this day, because it was the first bear of mine that someone had ruined. Like, I don't know if that's just me though. I get attached to things. Like, I'm much better at letting things go. Like, I'm happy to sell a bear or to let it go to a new home. Yeah, I know. I have an ex-boyfriend like that. He would always pull things apart. Even at my age, like, I'm 43 now, he would probably still be if he was allowed to. I don't know that his new girlfriend would let him. But yeah, I was always curious about how things worked and stuff, but I grew up having hammers and pieces of woods and nails and industrial magnets in my dad's garage. I had a slot car set, but I wasn't allowed to play with it, because every time it got set up, my dad and one of my neighbours would play it, and then it'd be like, oh, no, it's not your turn, and then the batteries would be flat. It was bought for me, damn it. But I also had dolls and girly toys. Like, I was really lucky. Like, a lot of kids don't grow up having both, but I don't know. I think because dad always wanted a son. So what are your plans today, Miss Wendy? I had a koala. It was called, are you ready for this? It was one of those ones, I think it was made out of like kangaroo fur or something. Like it was really old. We're talking like a 70s, like I don't know what it was made out of. It was some kind of fur. Um, and it was very bare in places, and it was called Koala. A journal in a jar. Wow, that sounds, I'm really curious to see that. That will be amazing. I also had a little stuffed dog called Fred because my mum's foster father was Fred, and he's the one who gave me both those toys. And they were the only toys I'd had with me since they started to foster me, because I was put up for adoption when I was 3. So they were the only things I'd had since I was 3. And my mum, I came home one day from school when I was 12. Hi, Ginny! Oh my God, we all had koalas. Koala brigade. um, and all my childhood stuff was gone. My whole room was different, and Mum had given all my toys away, and she said, "You agreed to it." And I'm like, "No, I agreed to a new room, not to you giving all my stuff away." And my cousins had it, and my uncle said, "Oh, it's probably under my house." I'm like, "Well, can I have it back?" And I never got them back. That's probably what made me start to make bears, because that. Oh, it does that. It's such a pain in the butt. Yeah, it stops you commenting for 30 seconds. Hi, Jenny. It's so good to see you. You're How have you been? Quali the koala. I like that. Good alliteration. I had noticed that you hadn't been posting many videos, so I figured that things were not always, yeah. I sort of honestly have been pushing myself this month. Um, with VEDA, because I decided. So here's me going, I'm not doing VEDA because we're doing Craftmas in July. And I'm doing Craftmas in July, and I'm doing Spooktober and Craftmas in December. I don't need to do the vlogging every day in August or April. So it comes to 2 days before VEDA, and my brain goes, I'm going to do VEDA because I'm a crazy person. But at least I've got a couple of things to pad out VEDA with. And I literally ran out of videos. That's why I'm live streaming today. Because they've made it really easy to live stream now. It's like literally just click a few buttons, put in a title, and you're done. I'm glad you're on the mend, Ginny. I miss your videos. I love seeing what you've been creating and what you're doing, because you're amazing. I get so blown away. Like, there are just so many talented people here. And 2 of my favorites are in chat. Yay! It's true. I adore both of you. Like, and it's Ginny, I found. Well, just when you're ready, Ginny, we're all going to be here when you get back to making videos. There's no, your health is, and how you feel is so, so much more important. I try, and the reason I have 2 defined upload days is because it's supposed to be better for your channel. But if I don't, I try not to beat myself up. But my sister actively asks, now that my sister is YouTubing, now that my sister is a YouTuber, she actively is like, "Where's your VEDA video for today?" Oh, I watched that and I joined the Facebook group. It was really cool. If we didn't already have, like, I think 9 people for Craftmas in July. I don't know if I've asked you about that, Ginny. I was going to ask you if you wanted to do it, but yeah, for our collab, I was like, there's no point in me asking all these people, or we're just going to have this huge list that nobody can get through. And that always drives me nuts with hops and collabs and things when there's way too many people to get through. It was, and it was really interesting because a lot of them had some of the same stuff to see what they did with that same part stuff. And they all seemed really lovely. Like they all seemed like really cool people. I literally subscribe to every channel because it's really good to meet more Aussie crafters. Yeah, I thought that was good. I actually told Melinda she should sponsor one of the ones in later in the year. Yeah, me too. But it's also, I don't know, there's just like I watch people from all over the world. That doesn't bother me, but it's just yay! Yeah, see, I think we have 9 people already. Like, okay, so Ginny, Wendy, myself, Melinda, Joanne, Fiona Jane, Crafty Kylie, Gracie, I can't remember what her channel name is. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. I'm pretty sure last count when I sat there and worked it out, there was 8 or 9 of us already. And I'm like, I'm okay with 10 or a dozen, but I didn't want to ask in that Facebook group because I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. I'm positive I'm forgetting someone. I have to go through and write it all down and write up what it involves. But I just thought it would be fun. And I just wanted to do something where, okay, so basically how I'm working it is we're all going to, there's like, it's not so much like, because the theme is Christmas or Craftmas. I'm doing, I haven't worked out what week's what, but basically I picked 4 themes or just like 4 item type things. So Christmas, because getting early for sort of things like Christmas is always good. So cards, tags, embellishments, and small gifts. So each week will be one of those themes. And the reason I've been telling you guys is so that if you want to start working on your videos, you can, or if you want to start sort of putting your ideas together, it'll be 1 upload a week, probably Saturday. Because Sunday, because I already do the Gorgeous Girl collab on 1 Sunday a month, I didn't want to do Sundays. And a lot of, like, I know, and my sister, how can I, that's the 9th person, my sister. So I'm good with having maybe 1 to 3 more people, but I think any more than that, and it's just too much. Well, it's going to be in July, so it'll be the 4 weeks of July. I think there's only 4 weeks of July. I'll have to double check that and make sure it's not a 5-week month. But so it'll just be 1 a week. I figured that was enough. I didn't want to overdo it, and I just thought that was a nice amount of videos for everyone to make for this. What I usually do is I create a playlist for the collab that I'm hosting. Oh, there isn't. I wasn't setting time limits. I'm not that I'm not that stressy a person. If you want to do a quick video, if you want to do a longer process video, that is completely up to you. Mostly because some of my videos range, like my tutorials usually are 10 minutes to 30 or 40 minutes. So I'm not going to razz you for having a long video. I don't think that's an issue. If people don't want to watch, they're not going to watch. But I wanted to do something, and this was before I knew that the other crafty ladies existed. It was like, well, we see all these collabs like in America and in the UK, and yeah, it's nice that we can join in, but we didn't really have any Aussie collabs happening. And I just thought Craftmas in July would be a good one. I'm also hoping to host a swap, which will be the Craftmas in July Advent calendar swap. A few people have said they're into this. Basically, you can shop your stash, Wendy. You don't have to buy stuff for this. I'm gonna sit down and work out some stuff that I would put into a Craftmas in July thing. It's sort of like an Advent calendar, but with craft supplies. But you can make embellishments. You can, if you've got loads of blank tags, you could do a little package of tags. Like, it's not meant to be huge, big gifts. It's not meant to be a huge, giant box of things. And then the last one for that is always just like a handmade thing. Like Joanne made me this little album, like something like that, something handmade is like it's sort of like your Christmas present. But I am going to do a video and talk about that more, because I think that would be probably helpful to people. And it's something we used to do in the scrapbooking memories before they changed where their forum was and stuff. It was something we used to do in the scrapbooking memories forum, and it was a lot of fun. And it's a good way, like if you've been sent something that isn't your cup of tea, it's a good way to sort of pass a few things along as well. Yeah, like, and it doesn't have to be new packets of things and stuff like that. I think I noticed in America, I guess because their craft supplies are a lot cheaper, like they have that 75% off at Hobby Lobby, and they always have coupons and clearance and grab bags and things. I noticed they do send a lot of new stuff, and I was like, it doesn't have to be that. It really doesn't have to be these huge extravagant things. It can be, you know, if you find something on clearance at Spotlight or the reject shop or whatever, and you think, oh, well, you know, that's such a good buy, it might be good in that parcel, that's fine, but I'm not expecting people to go out and buy anything for it. I think it's definitely a shop your stash. So I want to get a few more handmade sort of things packaged up so that I can show you what I kind of mean by it. Like, yeah, so a mix of like handmade embellishments, you know, little packets of charm, like little sort of charm packs you might pull together from all the charms you have. Yeah, like I really don't want it to be this big expensive thing, because I get so stressed out by that. Like I get worried when I send stuff overseas that they're going to be a bit, oh well, there's not that much there. There's no, you know, there's because I took a lot of stuff out of packaging to save space and put it in my swap boxes. I've got 2 Sistema Clippo containers where I've just, for flip books and stuff, where if I'm doing it in a theme, I usually use stuff from that particular range, but otherwise I often will go to my swap boxes and go, oh, I've got this or I've got that. Like, it's like with the Halloween goodies I sent you and Ginny and everyone. Like, I got sent a lot of that from my friend Jojo in America. And the dyes and stuff, I just went nuts and die cutted loads of stuff last year because I was using it. And I had all this leftover stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I would rather, like, I have a Halloween box. It's not chock-a-block full, but I bought a Peachy Cheap collection on Peachy Cheap last year that had a lot of stuff with it. And she hasn't sent that to me yet, so I'll have that for this Halloween. She's got a full dead and breakfast pad for me. Like, she's got so much other stuff she didn't even get to send, and she'll buy me more because she's just like that. So that journal was amazing, and Melinda's reaction was so good. I loved that journal. It was beautifully done. Honestly, it was my pleasure. Like, Jolene is the kind of person who likes to make people happy. So she's loved watching, like, I've linked her to your videos of your reactions to getting bits and pieces, and she's loved that because not only has she helped me, she's helped loads of other people. Because we all know it's not easy to find good, crafty Halloween stuff. And, like, their dollar stores are rife with it come August. July, after 4th of July is when all their Halloween stuff starts coming out. It's crazy. So by the time Halloween rolls around, they're already on to Christmas. Oh, that coffin journal was awesome. You have the best ideas, Wendy. Like, honestly, I would never have thought to use her chipboard to create a journal. Like, just mind-blowing. Although I did hand cut coffin shapes to put ribbon and washi tape. And see, I bought 2 rolls of washi tape from the Nameless place for Halloween last year. And no, 2 or 3. I think I ended up with 3 rolls that I purchased specifically for Halloween. And between using it myself and, you know, making little coffins with washi tape on them, I used it all. But she has a big roll. She has one of those big tubes like they get that was on clearance for me. So I don't know. I can't remember if it was a Tim Holtz or one of the others. I get a little awestruck sometimes with how amazing you both are. But Ginny, I found you. I don't know if the story of how I found your channel. So there is a YouTube channel called Shipwrecked Comedy. They crowdfunded for a series they were doing called Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party. Fantastic. So good. Well worth. If you just literally type in Poe Party to the search bar, the series will come up. Cannot recommend it enough. It is amazing. And they crowdfunded this. They did this all themselves. It was filmed in a short period of time. They got Jim O'Hare in it from Parks and Rec. and it is so well done. It is, if you like literary humor, you're going to love it. They get a whole lot of authors together from all different eras, and it is just fantastic. It's very clever, very witty, very full of feels. But anyway, when they were crowdfunding, one of the videos was Edgar's like, and like the guy that plays Edgar Allan Poe is, they're doing it as their characters, and it's like, and we'll need this much for the ravens and this much for raven feed. And Lenore is like, no ravens. So I went looking for how to make a raven in the hopes that I could find something small and light that I could send to America. And that is how I found your channel, Ginny. And that was a couple of years ago. So I think I'd been subbed to your channel for a while before I started commenting. But that is very, very much how I found Ginny's channel. And then I sort of started, bye, Wendy. Yeah, I should go soon too. I'll do another few minutes so that this has been an hour, and then I will go and film some videos and make some lunch. Enjoy your lunch, Wendy. It was wonderful hanging out with you. Thanks for stopping by, Wendy. Yeah, it was just, and it was one of those weird things. Like, to think that if I hadn't have been backing, because Poe Party was one of the second, I think it was, Kickstarter project I backed, which is why when friends tell me that they can't make the content they want to see, I'm very, no, you can. Star Kid do it. Shipwreck Comedy do it. There's a lot of people that do make, like, they crowdfund, they work with the budget they have, they do amazing work on shoestring budgets compared to what Hollywood or, you know, TV series would spend on a series. I mean, Poe Party did it for, I think it was like $100,000 or something, which when you think about it, sounds, I think it was like maybe $100,000 to $150,000, which when you think about it, it sounds like a heap of money. But then you've got to pay all your actors, you've got to pay your director, you've got to pay for locations, which in LA is one of the biggest expenses. And they do these amazing web series, and you're like, I'm mind blown by how they managed to pull that off. Like, there's another thing. My first thing I backed was called Spies Are Forever. It's a musical, and it is literally a spy musical. It's also on YouTube. And when you look at what they did with a small budget in LA, even the sets and everything, how they pulled it all together without having, you know, fancy laser shows and all the things that you could imagine in a big budget spy musical. And it looks like a professional musical. It looks like it should be on Broadway. Maybe a little bit more polished when it comes to like sets and stuff, but not a lot more could have been done. Like, I think there was just a few little things that would be, yeah. So I get really blown away by how much talent there is in the world that sort of doesn't always get recognized in a traditional sense. And I love now that we have platforms where we can crowdfund it. It's really nice to see you, Ginny. I have missed you. I have been struggling a bit this month myself, and I get very, I feel bad because I don't always reach out to people. Like, I don't always think to, and it's not a deliberate thing. I just get sort of caught in my own little world bubble. And then I sometimes get overwhelmed, like now, because I am a moderator on Twitch, which means I am social more than I'm used to be. I don't know if anyone else has that. I have that social limit thing where I need downtime now. I need to not talk to anyone for a while. I'm kind of nervous about tomorrow, to be honest. I have a bone scan. And I'm going to be in town for ages. But I'm also going op shopping, so I'm kind of really excited about that part of it. I think it's called introverted extrovert. Like, I can be really, really social, but then I need lots of down time afterwards. And I'm super excited because next Tuesday excuse me, I have my psychologist appointment. That's not the exciting thing. I love my psychologist. She's lovely. Don't get me wrong. That's not the exciting thing. There is an op shop across the road from it, Anglicare one, and it's one of those ones that looks like everything's just higgledy and you have to search through to find things. And I'm so excited because I finally will have some money to go there. Like, I didn't know if they had FPOS, like some of ours do. So, like, my favorite one in town doesn't, but the Vinnie's does. So, like, I thought, well, I don't know if they have. So I had to make sure I have cash on me. So I'm taking cash out tomorrow for that too. So I have op shop budget, and I haven't gone op shopping since the infamous I threw up at the counter incident, which is like over 6 months ago. If I can video, I will. If not, you'll definitely see my hauls if there are any. What am I saying? If we all know I'll come home with something, but I will try and film in my favorite one. I may have to like surreptitiously film in the front room, but the back room, I'm sure I usually do. I haven't done that for a while. There is one of the Wesley one on my channel, but it's like over a year old. I'm more nervous tomorrow because I have a lot of time in town. Usually I'm in town for an hour or two at most. Oh, it's worse, Ginny. I had a bad virus. I did not just projectile vomit at the counter. Something else happened that was not so pretty. They let me use their bathroom, and I had an appointment, and I had to call my job network and say, I'm literally here, but and I cannot, and I'm going home. It was not, I know, right? This is why I have not been back since that happened. Like, legitimately, I have not been able to bring myself to go back. And then whenever I want to go back, I just haven't had any cash to do it. And it's my favorite one. It's the one where I get the really good hauls really cheap. Like, I can come out with, games and books and lace and all sorts of weird and wonderful things for like $10 to $20. Like, I can go in there with a $20 budget and come out with change. I had $16 cash on me that day. My order came to 12. I was like, here, just have all my money. Because I felt so bad. They were lovely, and I'm like, I literally, after the first time, I'm like, can I have a bag, please? And they gave me a bag so I could throw up in the bag because I felt so bad. And it was just lucky that they were like polished wooden floors, so easy to clean. But God, I felt terrible. And then I told my doctor about it, and she's like, oh yeah, there was a virus going around that did that to you. And I'm like, how do I pick up a virus when I didn't even leave the house to get the virus? I swear, someone just has to sneeze or have a cold in one of the buildings near me, and suddenly I pick up these. I don't know how it happens. It was not fun. It's funny to think about now, but it was embarrassing as heck. Oh, they let me use the staff bathroom. They were lovely. And I felt terrible. Like, I'm making sure to clean everything up. And, when you feel like hell, you don't really want to have to check everything and make sure you've not left any marks anywhere or, just not fun. It was really horrible. I came home and I was so exhausted. I wanted to shower, and I had to have a nap first. And I was like, okay, I'm gross. I need a shower right now. It was not fun. It was like really horrible. Like, I was just like, yeah. And I had to wait for a taxi, and I had to get them to bring my stuff across with me because I couldn't even handle being in there anymore. Like, that's how sick I felt. I'm like, I don't have time to wait for you to pack up my stuff to bring it over. I just have to get out of this store now. Yeah. I hope I don't either. It's something that I've never, I will get the runs more than I will ever throw up. Like, I just don't, like, I have to be really sick to throw up. Like, and I very rarely get anything. Like, maybe every couple of years I'll get something that makes me that sick. So, I'm really sick when I'm throwing up. It's not pretty. But, yeah, it's just ridiculous. It was one of those things. It was not fun. Oh, I'm sure it will. Part of it was, I think, because I was looking for Disney books and they were all on the bottom shelf, I had been bending over as well, so I was getting a bit dizzy. So I just have to watch doing that this time as well. I think that it all sort of combined into one big not pretty experience. I'm sure it'll be fine. They were so lovely, and, like, I don't mind giving them my money or going in there and giving them, like, a little bit extra because their prices are so cheap. Like, I can get books for, like, $1. Like, I got a huge Game of Thrones book, and I think it was, like, $1 or $2, and I wanted it for crafting because I already have the books. So I find a lot of good stuff for crafting. Did I send you some ephemera from the games? Because if I didn't, I should. I have like all these. I have like scruples that I picked up for $1. Something else I picked up for $1, and the big Australian Aussie one that I picked up, and it was a few dollars. But like it has almost 1,000 cards in it. So I have some really good ephemera if you'd like some gamey things. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I've just been a bit worn out lately. I just like it. I can't seem to get on top of things, and I try and push myself to do things that will help me, like baking up oat bread and things like that, like to have so that I eat properly. And then when I push, then I get sick again. So it's just vicious cycle. But I figure the more I'm actually doing to sort of help myself a little bit, the better it'll end up starting to spiral back out of it. It just takes time. Oh, yeah, I do, but I can't beat Melinda. Melinda's op shop sells books for 20 cents, and she got me this amazing Disney cookbook. It's, for Christmas, and it was 50 cents. Hey, Jack! Meet my friend Ginny. Ginny, this is my friend Jack. I've known him for, I don't even 5 or 6 years now. Ooh! I'm excited. Parcel from Ginny. Hi. Whoop, whoop. um, I'm like, I was so happy that I got to share stuff with you. Like, I'd wanted to send you stuff for ages. Like, that is why you got the things that you did because I had so much. And then the little box, I don't know if you remember when I put that up, but you absolutely loved it. And I look at things that I make and I sometimes don't know what to do with them. And your reaction to it was like, okay, I have to send that to Jenny. It's like the shaker I made. I have to sit with that for a while, but that is for Wendy. Because she inspired it. She was sitting there shaking a packet of sequins I sent her, and I went, yeah. And then another friend of mine was, one of her streams had a, like the sort of shaker thing, and I'm like, I could make one of those. How are you, Jack Jack? Oh, I'm so glad. Like, it was one of those things where sometimes I have an idea and I want to do it, but then what do I do with it? And I'm really bad at ruining things when they sit around my house. So I was like, it's like the birthday in a box. I kind of really wanted to send that to Joanne, but I have another friend whose birthday is coming up and she does a lot for me. Like, she's just so lovely. So I was like, oh, no. And Joanne's birthday's already passed. So I'm going to have to do one for her next year and maybe a different theme. I'm really glad you do. And I will make sure when I remember and when I find where I put my modeling paste to do a tutorial on how I made the snowballs for you. You'll laugh when you find out how easy. It's a bit messy, but you'll laugh when you find out how easy the snowballs are to make. They took me a bit of time to work out, but once I did, yeah. It's just a bit of drying time, but I'll heat gun it so you can see. No problem. I'm okay today. I'm a bit tired and slow. Like, I could have happily stayed in bed for a couple more hours, but I didn't have a VEDA video, and I did put up on Twitter and Facebook that I was going to be live streaming today. So, needs must. Oh, you'll love it, Ginny. It's literally just modeling paste and beads. It's how you roll it through. Like, but my modeling paste has been around for a while. It's a Mod Mart one that is probably a little thicker and denser than it should be. So it was a little harder to get it to stick at times, and it takes a few coats, but it's really cool. I don't know how I thought of it, to be honest. I was like, I want snowballs. How do I make snowballs? Let's try this, and it worked. So how's work going, Jack? I have a bone scan tomorrow to see where the arthritis is in my body. Because I've been hassling my doctor about that because she doesn't believe me that it's in other places. Or she does, but she's just very lackadaisical on it. I think it's just because down here it's hard to get appointments. If you look really closely, you can see a hint of yellow in some of them. You know, they didn't use white beads. They were pearl beads from memory, just cheap ones from eBay. I have a question for you, Ginny, because I'm doing a couple of projects for a friend of mine who's vegan. Are there any craft supplies I can't use that you can think of? Yeah, well, that's why they're doing it, is to find out where. Like, we already know it's in my hips. I'm pretty sure I have it in my toes and a few other places. My cheap like $1 caddies from Kmart. Everyone loves these. I can't believe I've had them for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, arthritis isn't fun. I find the organic turmeric, ginger and pepper, I think from Turmeric Australia helps. I know you can get cheaper ones now, but that's the one that I've always used. So I try and, but I've got to remember to take it. I'm trying to get better. Like, I'm good at my mental health pill now. I take that every day, except when I'm really sick and forget, or if I oversleep and forget. But I'm getting better at taking things I need to take. Oh, yeah, I know. And there is a website that has things like, I know most Ranger inks are okay. I know there's a lot of stuff like she's not asked me to be vegan in in her projects. I'm just trying to be a bit mindful of that. How do you go as a vegan crafter? Like, I'm just curious. Um, like I will see if I can find that website again and I will link it. I'll send you a link. Well, she's not okay. She's only newly fully vegan. She was sort of not half half, but she's been working towards becoming more vegan. And her partner isn't vegan, and the album is for both of them. So I guess I have that little leeway. But with papers and stuff, I figured the papers would mostly be fine. Um, but I wasn't sure. Like, I did look, and most Ranger products are fine. I have a Teflon bone folder now, although my bone folders are all plastic, so there's no. I don't have a Ranger bone folder, for example, and there's stay away from a Ranger bone folder because it is actually made of bone. Um, but yeah, so I like, and I have plastic bone folders as well, so that wasn't an issue. It's just trying to, I want to make this really good. I want to make it really interactive and fun, but I also want to be mindful of the fact that I don't, if I'm using something like I'm not going to go through and use micro wax, or what's it called, something, there's a product that I have, micro glaze, which is wax. So, and I don't know what kind of wax, so I would be mindful not to use that. But yeah. Yeah, too. I've never understood why the name had to be bone folder. It sort of seems like such a weird name for something. But then I always thought that was an odd name until I discovered that Rangers is actually, yeah. So apparently originally they were made, but I have like We Are Memory Keepers ones that come with the boards. I have a Martha Stewart one, and I'm positive like that is definitely plastic. I have ones that are 100% plastic. Like, so I'm okay with using those because I need to use those to make an album. But I did recently invest in a Teflon one, and Teflon has no animal products in it, so that's fine. That is a fair enough. To use up what you have. Well, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to use what I have, and I've gotten some stuff like ephemera and that, and so it's I don't want to use things too much of anything that I'll make stuff myself for sure. That that is a given, but I'm trying to be a little bit mindful, and I found this website, and it's helpful, but it is also a little bit confusing, and even the response from Ranger and other companies at times are a little bit vague. Like, I assume most inks are fairly okay, although I don't know, are resins included in, not that ink has resins, but yeah. So I always just assume paper products are usually pretty safe, but it's possible they're not. Yeah, but the thing is, what they would be better off doing is doing maybe a vegan check like they do for food products, so that you know, so that you go, "Oh, okay, there's no," and cruelty free. Like most, yeah, see, these are things I didn't know. Like I have been doing a little bit of research, but at the same time, it's sort of, I have a limited headspace where my head just goes kaboom after a while and I can't focus. So I struggle with absorbing. But yeah, I did find a website that was helpful, and because I looked up to find out also what things were vegan at Woolworths, like if I wanted to send her a treat in, because we're doing a Christmas in July swap, and I wanted to make sure that I sort of tried to do as much that was cruelty free vegan as possible. But like, I know the Sweet Williams chocolate is vegan, so I will get her a block of that to put in it. And I know some of the Kez's Kitchen cookies and stuff are vegan free, are vegan. I was actually thinking of doing up some spiced seeds and nuts, because that way I know what's going into it. Or toffee, even toffee seeds and nuts, because that I can control what's going into, and I know there's nothing animal in it. Because they're always nice in little jars and things. I would make her sugar scrub, but she has a glut of stuff like that. Yeah, and I sort of collect like flaxseed, and I have like, anytime the macro ones are on special, I try and get a packet. I have like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, and sometimes, like if I'm just craving something sweet or I feel like something when I don't have something here, I'll just put, like, you don't even need much sugar to do it. Like you just put a little bit of sugar in a pan and let it start to melt. Then you just chuck your seeds in and toast them, and like you can get a hell of a lot of seeds done. The other thing I like is doing sort of like spiced seeds and nuts, which is like you can just use a little tamari in a pan with like whatever flavors you want. So there's a company that does it, and they used to charge like $6, or they were actually pretty good price when I think about how much seeds and stuff are these days. But yeah. Well, see, I've not 100%. Like I need to start. I have a friend who I've got to get the measurements off her again for how she does the chia seeds as an egg replacer. But I almost have a vegan recipe for my apple oat bread is almost bar the eggs, and that's just something I need to find a replace for. And I don't even know that they need the eggs. I think that's just baking habit. So I like, not because I don't know that I could do full vegan, but I do eat like vegetarian and stuff a bit. Like I don't always, yeah, I don't know. I've always been a mix. Like even when I was mostly vegetarian, I still occasionally ate stuff, but I don't, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, I have flax seeds and I have chia, but I have a friend who does, I think it's like a teaspoon of chia seeds and a tablespoon of water. Um, Applesauce is a good one. Yeah. Oh, see, I already do apples in the apple oat bread. I just buy the. I was a bit disappointed. Woolworths used to, their big giant tins of apple pie apples used to have just be pure apple in the tin. Now they have a few added things, and I'm like, because that's like 3.50 a big tin, and like you can't even buy a kilo of apples for that half the time down here. But I do that with either rolled oats or oat bran, and I just buy the cheap stuff because budget. I do some self-raising flour, a tin of coconut milk or coconut cream, just depends on what I have. And that, because the coconut milk or coconut cream replaces the butter and the milk you would normally put in, and it makes it, it's still really good. And then yeah, just some cinnamon. And I have a slice pan, and I baked, just recently baked two big things of it. But yeah, I added eggs. So I was trying to figure out if I could do it as a vegan recipe, and because then I could put it on my channel as a vegan recipe, which would be nice. Or at least say, okay, or at least go, okay, if you're not vegan and you want to use eggs, you can use eggs. If you are vegan, you can do this, because I like that. I like people having the choice to be what they are or to try something that they may not try. I think I'm going to try doing banana oat bread, because I've got a glut of apple at the moment. And I have some bananas in the freezer, and I want to make some freezer room. I'm trying to get back into freezer meals and stuff, because I have a lot coming up that I want to do. If I get freezer on top of freezer meals, I don't have to think about food. I don't know if that stresses other people out, but it stresses me out sometimes, trying to figure what's for dinner and stuff. Oh yeah, it really is. One of the things I discovered recently is chocolate crackles. Not using the horrible Kofa stuff, because that stuff's really processed, but using coconut oil, you don't need as much. And hi Tina, happy, great to see you. Yeah, so for me, freezing meals means that I just go to the freezer, pull out what I want, or like when I do my short soup, I literally just throw the dumplings in with the water and everything and just chuck it in the rice cooker and cook it. Great to see you. So yeah, so we were just talking about making things vegan and different things like that. Because I have friends who are vegan, and vegan craft supplies was something we were just talking about. How are you, Miss Tina? I should say Mrs. Tina. Oh, Tina meet Ginny, Ginny meet Tina. You are both awesome crafters. Thank you. I've been getting lots of compliments, and they're like 4 years old now. And they were like $1 or $2 at Kmart, or $1.50. I got a 2-pack. The other pair died, but the beaded ones have always been like, they still look like new. Yeah, I've had some awesome crafters stop by today, and awesome people. Thank you, Jenny. I love wearing them. That's my child. That's the inner child in me. Oh, how's your new bike going? I saw that video. I may have only clicked like. If I get too tired, I forget to comment on things. Awesome. True story, I cannot ride a bike. When I was little and first learning to ride a bike, this is back before they had a lot of safety things in place. The bike I was learning on had a metal thing around and it was sharp at the back, and my foot slid and I sliced the back of my heel up. I still have a scar there. Then, when I finally started getting the hang of bike riding as a teenager, we had a foster kid, and mum and dad were like, okay, he's hooning around the neighborhood. You need to go follow him on your bike. Forgetting that we had crazy steep hills and things. So Amanda goes flying down this hill, not knowing what to do, not knowing that you don't put on the brakes, you just go with the flying around the thing and turn and you'll be fine. Hits every brake, hand brakes, back brakes, every brake known to man, comes down to the bottom of the hill, goes flying up in the air with someone's driveway, lands with a bang, buckles both tires of the bike. And that was the last time I ever rode a bike. Yeah, that's actually a true story. I don't know. I have enough trouble walking and keeping upright some days. Yeah, I was okay, but this kid saw it happen, like Jarrell saw it happen, and went running home. And dad was working on his van, and he had to pull his van out of the neighbour's sort of like driveway where they were working on it. And he was driving around and I was like a block from home, and I was wheeling the bike, limping along, and I was almost at I was very close to home when dad, and I got yelled at something chronic. I got in so much trouble. It's like, hang on, why am I getting into trouble for doing what you told me to do? And not my fault you never taught me how to ride properly, that I knew that when you flew down a hill, you didn't hit the brakes. I freaked out. I was literally flying so fast. And I mean, I grew up with movies like BMX Bandits and E.T., so I wanted to be able to ride. But often my mum was devastated because my bike was the one she used. They don't have handbrakes any oh, you don't have handbrakes? See, that would be a little too freaky for me. Mum and her partner have been on me about wanting to get me a mobility scooter, and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because when I'm out, if I'm actually out and about, I try and get some walking in because I stay home most of the time. I don't wanna lose more mobility by sitting on a mobility scooter," and I had someone I know around here, got a mobility scooter, and she was thin as a rake, and she's almost my size now just from because that's how she gets around all the time. And I'm like, I don't want to lose more mobility. I want to increase getting my mobility back. And that means whenever I'm in town, going for extra walking, going, even if it's just looking at Jolly Ollies and stuff, just taking extra time to walk, I try and make sure I do that. Sometimes if I have a doctor's appointment, I will get picked up at the shops just down the road so I can go for a little walk around the shops. And I'll get myself some lunch at the bakery just as like, because our bakery has really nice salad rolls. I see, I don't know, I just never got the hang of bike riding. Swimming, I was a really good swimmer growing up, but yeah, not bike riding, not so much. I'm very uncoordinated, and now that translates into extremely wonky. Like, I on Sunday, we were supposed to have oh, everyone else went, but it was my niece's 22nd birthday, and they were all having lunch at Chinese. I was, like, on the fence about going, figured I wouldn't be able to go because I wasn't feeling well. And then I was like, I had psyched myself up into that place where I was like, yes, I'm going to go to this. I can have a shower. I can be ready on time. Then I go to the bathroom, I stand up, and I literally almost fall face forward into the washing machine. And I'm like, okay, so we're not leaving the house today. We're too wonky. I'm going to have to end this soon, I think, because I've been on for nearly an hour and a half, just rambling about nothing. Tina, do you find live streaming you sometimes feel like you're talking to yourself? I mean, I was for the first 5 minutes, to be honest. But anyway, just curious because it feels very odd to me. I think it's because this is only my third one. I have enjoyed hanging out with you too, Jenny. It's also really great to see because I have missed seeing your beautiful face or your beautiful hands and hearing your voice on videos. Um, I hope things are going to continue to improve for you. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it for now because I will probably do another one, hopefully on the weekend or something, to round out VEDA. um, I I always enjoy catching up with people. This is like it's like catching up with friends, and I love it. I see that, and it's so funny because we will sit in chat talking, and you'll look up and you're like, "What are you guys talking about?" I know I haven't caught one in a while because you've often been streaming when I'm moderating a Twitch stream, so or I'm asleep. Oh, I do that. I'm so bad. Like if you watch any of my tutorial videos and stuff that are long, I actually start singing randomly and all sorts of weird, wonderful things. I'm so bad for that. I make up songs like when I'm making dumplings here, it'll be like it's dumpling day. I'm gonna make lots of dumplings today. I have songs for making dumplings and yeah, all sorts of weird, wonderful things. I'm a little bit crazy like oh, funny like that. Oh, I do that. I don't talk to myself out loud as much as I used to. I don't know if that's because I make videos now or because I'm too tired, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll talk to myself and answer myself. But I live alone, so I'm expected to be the eccentric, crazy, kooky aunt because I'm not married, I don't have kids, I'm 43. I'm expected to be kind of weird at this age now. So I embrace it. Who wants to be boring anyway? That's my thought. It has been really cool catching up with everyone. So many amazing people stopped by, like Wendy and Joanne and Tina and Ginny and Jack and my friend Courtney from Courtney's Grotto. Yeah. I love it, Ginny. That is exactly my kind of thing. See, this is why we are friends. Well, see, if you have it on 18 plus, you're okay to swear. But if you but it depends on, I don't know YouTube's terms and services as well as I should. It is 12:30, so lunchtime. I'm going to have short soup, which you call wonton soup, I think, because that's literally what I have already half prepped, and all I have to do is throw everything in the rice cooker and chuck the rice cooker on for 20 minutes. Super easy. I made loads of dumplings the other day while watching a guy named Samuel L. Tucker on Twitch. I'm trying to get back into making sure I have freezer meals and things, which will help because I have an Etsy store opening next month, the end of the month. So I kind of need to get on to prep for that. So if I have freezer meals, I don't have to think about food. I can focus on the craftsing. Tina, by the way, I really loved I have to talk to my sister about going to when they go to the tourist info, or ask mum to do it as she's traveling around. But like the tourist info for your state stuff for pocket letters and that is so cool. That was such a good idea. Okay, I can keep rambling for ages, especially when I'm sort of tired. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to end this the way I end all my videos, which is um, thank you so much for everyone who came by. But I hope you know you are amazing, you are incredible, but most importantly of all, you truly do matter. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye. Okay, let's. And yes, please.